Hey there, this is our Kai Moon with Star Siren Astrology coming to you in this new moon in Aquarius. This is the first new moon of the year, and so this moon is really ushering us into 2020. We've started off this year with a lot of intensity, a lot of letting go, a lot of deconstruction. We had a stellium in Capricorn, so that Capricorn energy has been heavy. You know, we had a full moon lunar eclipse, we had Saturn and Pluto conjuncting in Capricorn, we had Uranus stationing direct, magnifying its energy. And so now we come here on this new moon, and the sun and the moon has shifted into Aquarius, giving us this fresh energy and helping us really let go of what we need to let go, really unhook, do the work that Capricorn was really asking of us. You know, shed those leaves, consolidate, refine our energy. Now it's time. Aquarius gives us this detached approach. It lets us rise above. It's an air sign. So already we're coming from the hard, deep earth, the set, heavy ways of Capricorn. And we're able to rise into this air sign that lifts us up, detaches us from all of that, can see the structure. You know, Aquarius gives us this ability to see how things fit together. It's also this networking, rebellious, revolutionary. It brings this separated, detached approach of releasing some of the dense emotions that we have, you know, that we can get stuck in, especially with that Capricorn Cancer energy really asking us to heal these deep wounds, to really see where we're met, to really see where our energy is going, what is feeding us and what are we feeding. You know, this Capricorn and Cancer eclipse season was really asking us to feel into our home and our emotional needs, our sources of intimacy and family, and the structures that are holding that, the structures that are supporting or feeding that, or not. Like, where were they not being fed? Where your structure is weak? You know, where were the places that you were putting your energy not actually sustaining you? And we had a lot of harsh reality pills to swallow. And it's been a very humbling time of seeing, whoa, where are we in this earth? How are our systems of structures and power actually sustaining? Where are they mining? Where are they enslaving? And how are we hooked in? How are we addicted? How are we feeding it? And so this has really given us a time to really self-reflect and examine our home and our work, our personal lives, as well as our relationship to the whole, our relationship to the external power systems, you know, external authorship. Capricorn asks us to have a initiation of internal authorship. And so that deep, heavy, hard work, those veils that have been lifted, those things that we've needed to slice through and cut and shed so that we can come back to our core, that's preparing. That has set the foundation for this energy to move into Aquarius. You know, Aquarius is this really fascinating archetype because it's ruled by Saturn, structure, fixed sign, but it's also ruled by Uranus. And Uranus is that lightning bolt of insight. It's that higher, rise above the structures and see how it fits together and see where to bring the fire, to bring the revelation of change and liberation. It unhooks us from patterns that have kept us from being in our unique gifts, in our unique essence, keeping our systems from being stagnant. You know, and so this Prometheus archetype, Aquarius, Uranus, it's the rebel, it's the revolutionary, And so it's a perfect kind of energy to come after the density of Capricorn, to give us some insight, to give us this ability to unhook from the emotions and to see, how do we want to participate? How do we want to revolutionize our lives and our place inside of society, our place inside of home, our place inside of work? How are we going to liberate ourselves to be more sustainable? Because that's what this journey of Saturn and Pluto conjuncting, they're going to be conjuncting several times throughout all of 2020, and then Jupiter is going to meet them in November. And so this is a long transit. It's not like, whoa, January, it's going to be hard and intense. This is going to be a process. There's going to be breaking down, and there's going to be rebuilding happening. It's going to happen on a very collective level as well as our individual lives. And I think that Aquarius brings us to that vision of the collective. It brings us to this vision of humanitarianism, of social, pods, and how they interwork together. It shows all of the pieces and how they fit together. Aquarian is that masterminding scientist and engineer of consciousness. So I say all that to encourage us to use this month, to use this Aquarian season, use this energy of the new moon that's ushering us in, saying, okay, we still have this intense energy. We still have a lot of deconstruction. We still have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of rebuilding. And this energy of Aquarius helps us detach, helps us see things for how they are, so that we can implement, so that we can find, network, revolutionize the place that you fit in. What do you feel called to change? How do you fit into the collective? How do you fit in to this time of deconstruction, of death? How do you fit in to this time of rebuilding a new world? It's been really intense to see the earth burning like this, to see the trees and the forests, these ancient forests burning. But this energy of Aquarius says, okay, grieve what is lost, grieve what you're letting go, grieve what you need to unhook from, and here's the energy to help you have a vision of what's beyond the death portal, what is beyond the birth canal. How do you want to implement this change? And this is a time where, because it lifts us up higher to see the bird's eye view of things, to unhook us from social and familial and karmic conditionings. Aquarian is there to liberate itself, liberate society from conditions, from that stuck, heavy, rooted in patterns that are no longer serving, the patterns that no longer work. And it represents exactly where we are right now. Our use of coal, our use of water, our use of agriculture, all of these things, they're not working in the way that we've been doing them. And I know we're going to hold on. We're going to hold on until all that's left. Sometimes those parts of us want to hold on to that Capricorn. And it's really hard because the Capricorn is the external power and it locks us in. But that's why this liberation energy is here to help us find creative, innovative, liberated solutions So I don't know about you, I've been feeling so overwhelmed over this last month with the intensity, with the just heaviness of everything that's happening, and not knowing where to go, not knowing like how do I make it better, like not seeing a way through. This Aquarian energy brings that right amount of electricity, that right amount of air and vision to help us open to seeing different pathways light up, different solutions arise. And they arise when we allow ourselves to detach, to unhook, to rise above the pains, to rise above the cravings and aversions and all of the fear, all the density of these human kind of heavy emotions that we could get stuck in. But one thing about Aquarius, it rules the nervous system, is it creates instability. It shakes up the foundations. So where you haven't been willing to let go, where you haven't been willing to budge, where we as a culture have not been willing to make the changes necessary, this creates some shaking for that to happen, for that to become necessary. And with that creates anxiety, creates high voltage nervous system, sensitive, there could be a lot of panic, a lot of worry, a lot of stress. What do I do? How do I make this work? Where do I go from here? Get fractured out into the collective, into all that's going on. So making sure that you really bring it into that center, bring it into that core. Still a time to be fortifying that Capricorn that is consolidating and drawing yourself in so that you know what to let go from and how to move from there. You let yourself rise above, but be anchored in that. Be anchored in the vision of what you've been shown. Be anchored in the work and the tenacity of Capricorn that allows you to let go and do the work to create new. Because we can't just unhook. We can't just freak out and rebel and unhook and then fracture ourselves. We have to create systems that come in to support it. Just like we can't be like, oh my God, never mind. Nobody use coal, nobody use gas, and nobody use any of these things that everyone's addicted to, that everyone's like, our entire society thrives upon this. We have to bring in some new structures. How are you going to be a part of that? This is the time to find your place inside of that, inside of this change that's happening, inside of this shift. And this is beautiful because it's a mini microcosm of the energy that's going to be happening in a much larger scale. Right now we have a lot of energy in Capricorn. Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto going to be in Capricorn for a while. Jupiter and Saturn are going to move into Aquarius, and then 4 years from now Pluto's going to move into Aquarius. So this is a mini microcosm of the energy of Capricorn that we've been going through since 2008. We're going to be shifting into Aquarius. So that is going to spur us on to start revolutionizing some of these structures that we have deconstructed, that we have seen the veil lift on, so that we can have those sparks of insight, so that we can have that surge of rebellion that knows that the fire coming, that the shift of consciousness coming through the people can give us power to create the world that we want to create the life that we want to create. And so with that, use this energy of the new moon to really propel you forward in this new year, to really help you see, okay, what's the ceremony that I've been in? Sometimes when we're in the ceremony, we can't really see it because we're so in it. And now it's giving us a little bit of detachment, a little bit of separation to come up for air. Literally, come up for air and then assess lingering things that need to be let go of. Now is the time. Planting the seeds, planting that revolution, that personal revolution inside.